Welcome back to another episode of
Your Secret Safe with Me.
with your favorite besties, Tenisha.
In India.
Okay.
Have you ever had a health scare or a unexpected diagnosis? Well, I have, and today we will be sharing. But before that, how was your week?
Let's see, positivity this week. So I have another niece on the way.
Yes.
So we actually just had the baby shower. My brother and his wife. Yes.
Wife.
A wife. My sister-in-law. They had a baby shower. I was over the games and stuff like that. But it was just, it's always nice to celebrate new life coming into the world. So that was actually
A blessing.
definitely a blessing, fun, enjoyable. And now I'm just ready for my niece to get here because I want to hold another baby. And
I know. She's so small, too. I was like, she's carrying it very well. Like,
she is.
she's not.
Yeah. she's got a couple more months or so.
Yeah, a couple. So yeah. They say that
she'll start growing more rapidly. Yeah.
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 But
this is the cute stage for sure.
At her baby shower.
Yeah.
Yes, and I attended that. That was a great celebration.
Yeah. What about
you?
And
then for me, I would say it's been a good week. It's positive because I'm preparing a surprise for my husband. So his grandmother is coming into town. So I've been just trying to prepare for that. I've got some things lined up. So that's a positive thing this week. And I'm excited to get it done. You know, it's like the anticipation.
And he has no idea.
He has no clue.
Wouldn't even
I'm like, we got a photo shoot.
Oh, is that what you told him?
I'm having to lie and say, we have a photo shoot that day because he was about to like start plans or stuff like that. So I had to
what do you think
distract
his reaction
him.
will be?
Is
he a crier?
He's not a crier.
Okay, he's not going to be like,
but he will be.
He's not going to do that.
No.
Okay.
He probably will be emotional, but he does a good job of keep it face. So he'll probably tell me later, or hopefully I get the appreciation.
Right. Hopefully she gets the appreciation.
But yes, I know. Nice, I know he'll be excited to see her. He'll be surprised. I'll try to record it. Yeah. But yeah, that's what's going on. So our topic is health is wealth.
Woo.
So I decided to be vulnerable on this podcast and share the story of how I found out that I have endometriosis. Now, I'm going to try to be quick because this really happened in a time span of 2 years, 2021 to 2023.
Oh, dang, I thought it was 2022.
No, so 2022, I'd had no clue, no symptoms. I had an ideal. Like my cycle symptoms were kind of changing, and I used to be like, do I got endometriosis?
So you had already thought that you...
So I already had thought, but I didn't have all the symptoms of it. So I was like, no, I guess not. Like, I guess it's just a new PMS symptom that I'm getting because I'm getting older. So then 2021, I was feeling pain. And I was like, Dart, you have to take me to the emergency because it wouldn't go away and it was different. And that's when I found out that I had just one cyst on one ovary at the time. Then, and that freaked me out. And they were like, you have ovarian torsion. Have you heard of that term? I know you're in the health stuff. Torsion. Yeah, I'll be saying it wrong.
Torsion?
It's torsion. Yeah.
But yes, I know what you're talking about.
So they thought that the cyst did that to my ovary. I was fine, went home, and I was shocked. Like, that was shocking to me. I'm like, a cyst?
Is that when you scared me and you were like, y'all had to go to the emergency room? My blood pressure was X over X.
Yes.
Like, what the heck?
And I fainted. I actually fainted. Darcy had to tell me. I didn't even know because it happened so fast. But he literally had to catch me. Then I had the wheelchair. Next thing you know, I was in the wheelchair. So I didn't even know. Darcy had to tell me that I had fainted. Because I was like scared, and then I was like, I'm really in pain right now. But yes, that was that first scare. And then later on, not too shortly, I had to do a checkup appointment. And then by then, it was on both ovaries. And then they were talking about surgery, and I was like, no. Because they were still small and manageable. So they were like, we'll keep an eye on it. That was 2021. Fast forward to 2022. I was talking about like, oh, I need to be proactive, get a doctor. I did not. And then I was exercising and I saw this lump. And I was like, I know that ain't the cyst growing. I was like, I know it's not. So then I was like, okay, now I really gotta find a doctor. So I found a black doctor in Arlington, and she was like feeling on it, and she was like probably like guessing that it might be fibroids. Mm-hmm. So she was like, we can do another appointment, and I think it was like in 2 months because she was booked and busy. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, 2 months just to get a sonogram like that, or yeah, a sonogram. I was like, okay. And then by the time I think I had the appointment in November of 2022. Then I went in January of 2023. My cyst grew so large. So they did the sonogram. And this is how I knew something was wrong, because the nurses was looking at me. And they were like, oh, wow, I'm surprised you don't have any discomfort. Because they did it's called transvaginal sonogram. Is that what it's called?
Inside,
and outside my stomach. So they did both. And it was just, the nurse kind of seemed a little off. Then they were like, oh, we want to check you again because that other person was new. And I said, oh, Lord, something going on. Something going on. Yeah, like, that's the excuse they gave me. I was like, So then the second person came. I think she just did it on the top of my stomach. And then my doctor came. She was like, you need to have surgery immediately. Like, or not immediately, but like as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, then we need to make sure it's not cancer. I was like, wait, excuse me, come again? Right. That's when I really got scared. Because one surgery, and as we talked before in previous podcasts, that was like my biggest fear, going under. Like, oh, am I going to live? Am I going to wake back up? Mm-hmm. Or I saw a movie a long time ago where the guy was up while he had his surgery. So I'll be scared of that too. So she said surgery, and then she was like, cancer, or potentially. So then I was like I'm freaking out in my mind. So then she was like, let's do blood work just to make sure, or just to see if we can check to see if you have cancer kind of symptoms or not. So they had a lab core at the same facility, and my mom came with me that doctor's appointment too. And I was like, Mom, they wanted to check to make sure they cancer. And she said, I got to do surgery as soon as possible. I'm so glad she was there, because I was like, that's a lot of information to get. And then even my doctor had me call my husband because he was at work. She wanted to share the information with both of us. Mm-hmm. So Darcy was asking questions, like follow-up questions. I'm just like, you stuck. What? So they did the blood work. And even that almost pissed me off, because they took the blood work, and then I'm over here waiting, like I'm anxiety up, waiting for them to come back with information. And then they tell me I got to go back in and get more blood. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, why? I guess they lost. I don't know what. I didn't have enough. They didn't have enough blood, I think they might have said, to test it. And I'm like, my goodness, I've been waiting this whole time. Right. And you ain't got enough blood. So I had to go back up there to get some more blood, and I finally got the results. And then she said it was high. Like, she's like, but it doesn't mean that you have ovarian cancer. So whatever levels that they look for, it was high. But so then but she was like, but it doesn't mean, that doesn't automatically mean that it's cancer. They have to look for other things. So I'm still like, still look. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this ain't good news. This is not helping me feel any better. But she had a referral for me to go to see a specialist. So me and my husband went to see the specialist like the end of January, and then we scheduled the surgery date. And she just shared, like, I'm gonna have to cut you a little above your belly button down. And I was like, woo. She was like, it is gonna be a scar. And I was like, I mean, that's the least of my worries at this point. Right. Like being vain and worrying about what my stomach looked like. But I was just like, wow, this is a lot. And then she tells, all the risk, and she knew I wanted to still try to have kids. So we were trying to make sure we didn't have to do a hysterectomy. So she was like, making sure to make sure I was comfortable and knew that she wouldn't go any further if it led to a hysterectomy or anything like that. So I felt very comfortable. Me and Darcy asked all the questions, like if it can come back, all that stuff. So then I had the surgery. It went well.
It was February 28th,
2023. Mm-hmm. And they took this cyst out. I think it was about 20 or 19 centimeters.
Dang.
It was huge. But you saw. I showed it to you.
Whoa, hold up. Why did I have 7 in my mind then?
7?
I thought you told me. You would know.
The one I have now is like at 7. But I'm not there yet. But but yeah, so it's a high, it's in the double digits. Because I was looking like 3 months pregnant too at the time, dealing with it. But I had to fact check that how many centimeters was, but it was in the double digits. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so she took out the cyst, and then I had to lose my right ovary and my appendix, and then that's when I was diagnosed with stage 4 endometriosis, which I didn't even know they had stages. But it was just like that much and that spread. And then she tells me that she had to get a couple of the smaller cysts off my left, but she left the left ovary. But what she didn't get all the endometriosis because some of it is still connected to my uterus and my colon.
Oh.
Yeah, and so she didn't want to. She didn't endometriosis tissue.
Oh, the endometriosis. Okay, gotcha.
So the tissue, she didn't want to go any further of trying to disconnect that because that's when it was leading towards like I might have to get a hysterectomy if I bled too much. So sorry y'all, I'm getting very graphic, but she stopped. She let me know she stopped, and I was like, "Is that gonna be a problem in the future?" She said it shouldn't, but she left that just so I could still keep some of my important organs. So I just appreciated her for actually listening to me and doing her best to get everything out, but she did, and I had a really good recovery. I think I stayed at the hospital for like 2 nights. And 3 days.
Got updates.
Yes, and Darcy kept my friends updated. Yes. My friends checked on me. My husband did like a little surprise recovery party for me. Oh, so it was definitely a journey, but sometimes I think like, if I would have been more proactive during that time, that year, what it would have been like.
Right.
But it came back. Dang. This cyst came back. It's not as large. So I've been just trying to manage it, but it came back, and I found out that it came back about 4 or 5 months after my surgery in February because I had a bowel obstruction.
Oh yeah,
had another emergency. I had a bowel obstruction from that surgery because the scar tissue. So that's when I found out. They were like, "Oh, we see a cyst too," and I was like, "Girl, I was devastated." I was like, "Is it back?" It's only been 4 months. How's it back already? Like I was really hoping that I could go a while without having to deal with this. So that's just the quickest breakdown.
How do you manage it now, knowing that you have this diagnosis and this is, kind of what it is? How do you?
I was doing a lot of research lately. Honestly, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of stuff on the internet that says, "Oh, stay away from this, stay away from that." And it's just like, I remember before I got the surgery trying to shrink the cyst before. It didn't work, obviously, because different cysts some needs to be surgically removed, some can shrink, and some do pop, depending on what it's made out of. But I was getting discouraged because I'm like, it's not shrinking. And I really didn't want to do the surgery. Yeah. But it's just like I was getting caught up with like trying to do everything to where it just got overwhelming, trying to keep up with like, don't eat soy. Don't drink.
I remember you went through those diets.
No caffeine, no red meat. Like, so I just try to do everything that I can.
You were like, what can I eat?
I know, girl. I was like, what can I do? What can I eat? Like, what? So it really has been a journey to just trying to trial and error, see what works for me, basically.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. It's,
you know now what you have.
Yes.
You're just continuing to get the knowledge.
And do my best to keep up with it because the pain is ooh, it can be bad sometimes if I don't do right. So, yes, it's best to listen to your body.
Right.
And what it says.
I didn't, as you were telling this story, I was thinking about, because I was like, I haven't really had any major surgeries. But then I completely forgot about this. Remember when I had that big mass on my hand?
Yes, I do remember that.
And
actually.
I was afraid that was probably cancer. It
You
came
was pretty
out of
young
nowhere.
too when that happened.
That was like what, 5 years ago?
Oh, that was only 5 years ago?
Yeah, that wasn't, it wasn't, that wasn't
Dang, I
that
was thinking
young.
he was younger.
No, that was probably, I think, about 5, maybe 6 years ago now.
But it was fluid, right? And didn't they drain it?
Yeah, at this point I can't remember all that they did. I have a scar though from when they opened it up. I was it just continued to grow and grow and grow. And I remember just being so concerned because I was just like, it started off just kind of, as just like a little ball on my hand, and it was all right on my knuckle, my middle knuckle.
Oh, I see
on
the
my
scar.
right hand. You see the scar, yeah. And I thought I did something at work. So I was just like, oh, it'll go away. And then it just kind of progressively got bigger. And then I put on like a hand brace. And at that time, I was really trying to do good about working out. But I wasn't able to do simple things anymore because I'm right hand dominant. And as it was growing, I was getting nervous. I was starting to get down. Like, I can't do nothing. I could barely write properly. Like, it really affected the most simplest things. And so, I finally got this doctor who was able to work with me, and, because it was pricey trying to just even get it removed. And I didn't want to have to go under just for them to. Yeah, because he was talking
about going under just for the hand?
Just for the hand, because it was pretty big, and they had to. I think they were trying to put me under because all the equipment that they had was there at that building. I don't know, whatever. But he decided he was gonna, just to keep it cheaper. He was like, I'll bring that equipment here. We'll, numb it. We'll do what we need to do. You can stay awake for it, and we'll just do it. And so I remember them just taking all of it out. And do you remember? I think I was like asking you and Darchi, like, could this be, gout? Could this be this? Because they were thinking that it was potentially gout, because there was no rhyme or reason as to where this it just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we found out, ruled out gout, ruled out some other things. I was having to talk to family members.
Hard?
It wasn't. No, I don't remember being hard, like knocking on it and it's like a rock. I think it was a little squishy, but it was solid. It's still solid. And I just remember, I think I dealt with that. I dealt with that for maybe like 6 months, maybe. I don't remember exactly now, but I do remember the headspace that I was in, because I was just like, dang, I can't do anything. I'm actually trying to be proactive and work on my physical health and work out and be cute. And I can't, I can't do the things that, I'm able to, that I, on a day-to-day basis able to do. And so anyway, got that removed, and now I just have the scar, but it has not come back. And that was, I was concerned, like I was asking the doctor, would this come back? And he was like, I've gotten all of it. I got the sack, whatever. It shouldn't, but you never know. But gone this long, and it's fine.
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I still don't crack this knuckle though. I crack my knuckles. I don't crack this one because I did it one time when I had it, and it hurts so bad. So now I'm like traumatized. Gosh. I don't crack it now. It's because I'm like, it's still gonna hurt anyway. But yeah, it just made me think of that because I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too. But yeah, feeling like you can't, because I remember when I was in recovery, I'm like, I can't work out like I want to. Like, I'm looking at myself like I look like a little boy. I need to get in the gym. So I feel that.
Oh goodness.
But what else we said we were talking about? Oh, so how have you been more intentional with your health?
Sorry. How have I been more intentional with my health? Well, since having Layla, I have definitely been more intentional about my health, because I want to make sure I'm around for my baby. And I am getting older. So, as you get older, if you're not taking care of yourself, your health just declines. And so I definitely been intentional about making proper appointments. Like last month I set up a physical, which I have not done a physical since I was like in high school when we had to get physicals for
Did
sports.
They have y'all doing the laps?
Did they have us doing the lap?
Yeah, what else they do in
the physical, like the physical exam? Well, I'm saying physical, but it's like it's like a physical annual exam. They like just check from your head to your toe. Yeah, okay. It's like just they
not like when we were younger.
No, not like no.
I don't know why my mind went to that.
No, not that. They just check, that your vitals, everything is, working properly. I had to do blood work. And remember, even then, I feel pretty good. I believe I'm pretty healthy overall. But I still want to make sure that I was staying on top of my health. I mean, just like what you said, like you really should have been more proactive. And if you were more proactive, then what could have been the outcome, whatever. And so that's how I'm thinking now. I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and do this. So she found like a lump in my throat, and I was like, she was like, yeah, we're going to go do I'm going to have you go get a sonogram on it. I'm like, okay. Turns out I'm fine. It's a little nodule that is just there. My blood work all came back all right. I am a little elevated with my cholesterol, so it's a little high. It's just a tad high. But everything else was in normal range, and I'm doing well. And so I was intentional about doing that. My dental health, me and India was just talking about this. I mean, time really just flies, and I am very good about staying up on my dentist appointments. However, these last couple of years really just flew by, and I was like, wait, I didn't schedule no appointment. So I hadn't been to the dentist since I think like 2021. And I actually went today, and I was nervous because like they're going to tell me I got all these cavities and now I have to pay all this money. So just, making sure that I'm, staying up on everything from head to toe, internally, externally, and all that good stuff. And so, and even just my mental, just being intentional about, what I'm digesting and what I'm thinking and stuff like that, trying to be intentional about that too, because that is your health too. And your mind can deteriorate, and your mind can go in places, in dark spaces. And so you want to make sure that you're up on that as well. And so I'm just trying to be more intentional about that while I'm also taking care of this child that makes my mind deteriorate. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But, so I'm just been more intentional about just my overall health.
Getting that check-in.
Getting those check-ins, checkups, and so that I could be around for my family and for, my baby.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I would say the same. Just going to the doctor. I have a high pain tolerance too, so sometimes I can suffer in silence. So just really listening to my body and being like, okay, I need to go to the doctor this time. I've had a couple scares where it's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. But I'm like, look, I'd rather go than to make the same mistake. So I feel like I now listen to my body a little bit more. That's how I'm being more intentional, just listening and not fighting through pain. I will say but the dentist too, like dealing with all of these doctor's appointments, I really neglected going to the dentist. And so I finally went this year, got cavities. I had to get them filled. Baby, my mouth was like this.
Yeah, you showed this in that picture.
Whatever they put, Novocaine, whatever it is. Boy, I was looking crazy. But look, I'm taking care of myself, trying to get them cavities filled. And I just been taking a lot of like herbal supplements. For womb care, so I'm not popping a whole bunch of ibuprofens all the time, because that is heavy on, I think it's the kidneys. It's the kidneys or the liver. I'm pretty sure it's the kidneys though. Whatever, flushes your body out. If you take too many ibuprofens, it can be damaging to that. So I'm just trying to find, a lot of herbal supplements. I got these little drops I've been taking, and they've been doing well. Even my cousin, shout out to Kalia, she helped me with a whole bunch of herbs, making this tea and these tonics and stuff. So I'm really just trying to use the good greens that the Lord or
right, exactly.
The herbs that the Lord has made, to take care of myself. And what else? I guess that mainly just going to the doctor when I feel I need to and staying away from alcohol. I will say that, girl. I think I'm going to have to really let alcohol go.
Oh, altogether?
Altogether. Or once a year. Twice a year. Cause
look, I'm saying all because I'm like, hold up, what if we go out and we want to drink a little?
Yeah, make sure it's that 1 week in the month where I ain't got no issues. Darn. Because it will sneak up on me and I will be cramping and stuff. So, it's God just kind of really just purging some things just out of my lifestyle too, as how I see it as well. But yeah, just being intentional, being mindful, and just having friends and family. Like shout out to my mom and my dad; they was taking care of me too when I was dealing with recovering and stuff. And I don't know if I mentioned I don't have cancer. They did the biopsy. I forgot to say that part. But
she's fine.
They
cancer free.
Took a piece and checked it, and I'm fine. Yeah. Yes.
Amen to that.
I left that cliffhanger, but yeah.
Amen to that. What you have?
So I had how has it affected your mental health?
How's it? Well, I would say, how's it affected? Okay, let's start here where I'm talking about the follow appointments and just the maintenance and all that kind of stuff. And also, ladies, checking up on your women's stuff too. That's good health practice too. Making sure you're going to your yearly.
That one I was not
OB.
missing.
Oh yeah, your yearly OB exam and stuff like that. Because also I've had those scares where like I have abnormal pap smears and I've had to do biopsies and stuff like that. And so, that's scary. Like mentally, that's just very like, oh my gosh, could I have cervical cancer? I've done more than 1 or 2 biopsies now where I've had multiple abnormal pap smears, if I'm being very transparent and honest. And I guess it's more common than I thought, because as I talk to some women, they're like, oh girl, yeah, I've had it plenty of times too. And I'm like, okay, I'm not alone, and y'all survived and y'all made it another day. Y'all don't have no cervical cancer diagnosis. And so we're still just praying that away. But mentally, when I first had to do one of those, like, oh man, I was tore up because I was like, oh my gosh. But now just kind of going back more recently when I had my baby, before I had my baby, I mean, all of my mamas, I'm sure y'all can relate to just all of the dots that just go into your head. And as a new mother,
and not to cut you off, I remember you used to say like, they don't tell you this when you're pregnant. I remember
they don't tell you. No, they do not. There's a lot of stuff they do not tell you when you are pregnant. I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like now there's still a lot of things that are not said, that are left unsaid. But I feel like with social media booming these days, I feel like you can definitely find people talking about some of the things that were never talked about and discussed in depth, like years ago type of thing that you experienced while pregnant and all this other kind of stuff. But I will say, when I was pregnant, my mental health was just so shaky. Because I was walking into something so new. I've never been a mom. I've never had a baby. I've never experienced all these things that are just happening to my body. And I do know I had a lot of fear. I was so fearful and just drowning in just negative thoughts about like, what if this happens? Just negative things that could happen, not positive things. And also, you can go online and see all of these, scary birth stories and all this other kind of stuff. And so and then also on top of that, being a Black woman, and knowing what that looks like in the healthcare system, unfortunately, especially for, Black moms, and the mortality rate for Black women, pregnant women, and just all these things that just start to creep into my mind. And so mentally, I was like, not where I should have been and that was probably the beginning, mid of my pregnancy. And I really just said, I cannot deliver this child with this mindset. Like, it's very common and very normal for a lot of pregnant women to have these fears and concerns, stuff like that. So it is normal, but you need to pray that away.
Yeah, so she was like, I'm praying these thoughts away.
I'm praying these thoughts away.
I'm just having these bad thoughts. They don't tell you this.
They don't. And you know who told me that this was normal? Shout out to my cousin. Shout out to my cousin, because if I didn't really talk to my cousin, or if my cousin didn't come up and talk to me about it, I probably would have sat with that and not realized how normal and common that is. My cousin came to me, and she was like, congrats, cuz, on the baby. And she was like, are you starting to have these intrusive, like, negative thoughts? And I was like, yes, I am. And she was like, yeah, they don't talk about those things during pregnancy, like all these thoughts that, come into your mind. And so I just felt some relief there. Like, okay, it's not just me. I'm not just being anxious just out of nowhere. And this is not just me being crazy type of thing. But when it all came down to it, what I wanted for my birth, what I wanted for my labor delivery story, although you can never predict how it's going to go, obviously, and things do happen, unfortunately, that, you can't ever predict and prepare yourself for, still grounding myself and meditating and praying really helped me a lot. Having a doula helped me a lot and helped my mental, get better. But also just praying and talking through things and meditating and actually watching positive stories and really just saying, this is what I want for my birth. This is what I prayed over the doctors. I prayed over the nurses that would be taking care of me. I prayed obviously over my baby and over my health and my baby's health. And, I was able, I started off having so much fear, having just so much anxiety around it, to being at so much peace. I had come to a place where I was so peaceful, like nothing. I mean, there would still be those times where things would hit me and I'm like, oh, nope, can't, nope. But I had controlled it. Yeah, and I was at so much peace because I was just like, I cannot keep going like this with these mental things going on in my head. And praise God, I had a very successful and beautiful story, labor and delivery, and I was healthy. My baby was healthy. And at the end of the day, that's all you're praying for. However your baby gets here, you're just praying that both mom and baby make it out safely. And so with that being said, my mental health went from like here to, we're doing good type of thing. And then comes postpartum, your mental health, and that gets shaky too, and that's a whole other thing that they don't talk about as well. But, I'm doing well. There's still different thoughts that creep into my mind, even being postpartum, because now my baby is here, and still some of the things that go through my mind. I'm just like, girl, now where you get that thought from? It'd be like the craziest stuff. I'm like, Tenisha, why is that even a thought? But I don't know. It's always something. But again, I stay rooted in my faith, and I really do, pray on the things that I fear. So yeah, that's
thank you for being transparent and sharing that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So for me, I will say, I feel like I said in previous podcasts, like I feel like I had a little bit of depression, transitional depression, functioning depression, whatever, from college to the real world. But I feel like this was the second time where I was like this is really taking a toll on me.
Yeah.
This experience. And I feel like the what ifs, it's just so many what ifs. It was, what if I have cancer? What if the surgery doesn't go well? Then it's like, what if I'm not able to have children? Because with endometriosis, if people don't know, it's the inside tissue in your uterus is outside of the uterus. So it causes a lot of lesions and stuff outside of that, and creates issues and damage and stuff. So it can cause infertility. So that's like one of the biggest fears as of late. It's just like, oh, will I be able to have children or not? So I've really been having to talk to God about that, because it's just like, at first it's like you get the news and you think, oh, I never thought it would be me. Then you try to figure out how to process it. And I know people who have similar stories, whether it's with fibroids or just cysts and stuff like that. a lot of times women just rush. And I was so bent, because that's the only kind of scenario I knew of. So I was so bent on like, oh, I'm not going to rush, as if that was the only way that you could show anxiety and fear, which is not. That's something that I recently learned. It's like, I'm over here trying not to rush, like that's the answer. I'm still having anxiety and fear around this. So that was something that I had to learn. Like I was trying to use that as like I'm doing good, I'm doing okay, but it's like you're still struggling, even though you're not trying to rush and have a child and make things on your own time. So that was a newer revelation that I've had.
That's good.
But mentally I'm better, but if I'm having like a bad cycle month, like my mind could go a little down. But for the most part, I thank God, because I'm feeling like I'm getting a better management of it. I am more in high hopes, and I just be praying to God, like, Lord, if it's your will, I will have a baby one day. So
please,
I just all you can do is share your request with the Lord and see what He says. So
amen.
That's just what I've been doing, but it definitely took a mental toll, just trying to adjust to the news, grieving the thought that, oh, I might not be able to have kids. So it's been a lot of ups and downs with thoughts. I've even went to a fertility specialist, and he was horrible. So that really helped me just be like, not now. That's not what the Lord is saying right now. I said, you was not doing a good job of selling me to go to your fertility place, sir. Like, you're not helping me feel confident in your hands. So I let that go, and I've just been really trying to do it the natural way, trying to heal, and then when the time comes, That's right. But definitely, like, talking to God for sure through this process, trying to process everything has helped me. Talking to my husband, talking to other people who have had similar situations, even on social media. I follow endometriosis accounts. Like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not doing this by myself.
And that's always helpful too, when you know somebody is
going through it too.
For sure.
And I see it more, like even like reality TV, because I be watching, the Bravo, Real Housewives.
You still watch the Housewives?
Girl, yes, I be watching the Housewives.
Oh my goodness.
But it was actually Married to Medicine, I believe. One of the girls on there, she has endometriosis. And I was like, wow, like I haven't really seen too many
people
on
talk
that.
about it, yeah.
And so it was like, okay, like I'm not the only one out here trying to thug it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just really talking to God, trying to do it healthy, naturally, and having support, honestly, has really helped with the mental. For sure. And yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I know one thing, we're going to count on God.
I know.
Because
how
else?
It's like, what else you going to do?
Well, he said, if he don't do it, it ain't getting done.
It ain't getting done.
I'm going to just be distraught. I'll be in a corner.
And and God says, fear is not of the Lord.
It's not. It's right.
So we shouldn't be fearful, but we could say that all day, but we're human, you know? And so it's a human thing for fear to surround us, but it's about how we conquer the fear, and how we let it affect our mental and our physical. Because, talking about health is wealth. You can't be your optimal self. You can't, when we think of wealth, we think of naturally financial wealth, but you gotta be taking care of yourself to even continue to reach those financial goals and stuff like that. And so mental health being big, because as long as you continue to feed yourself negativity, and we've seen it with people, we've seen it plenty of times, people will talk themselves into these dark holes, and then it's just like you really self-inflicted a lot of the issues. When you start to really believe it because you've said it enough or you thought it enough, your body will shut down, your mind will shut down. And so, and I've had moments like that, where I haven't reached, the bottom, but I was going, until I had to be like, nope.
Snap. Yeah.
Right. You got to snap out of it. And like you said, having that support and talking to people to talk through these things, is always going to be helpful, and always, we're always going to stand on our faith and stand with God.
10
okay.
toes down.
Every podcast you see, we're going to be talking about amen. Yes, Lord,
yes.
God this, God that. And, I'm grateful to even, be able to, to have the relationship that I do have with Christ, to be able to say, like, I can't do this by myself.
I don't know what
I'm always turn to God.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't.
Right.
Because people can do so much,
Exactly. People can humans, we ain't got all the answers. We ain't got all the answers, Sway. We don't.
Like with hers, I was like, oh, she was telling me about, like, when you were saying, like, girl, they don't tell you about this, like, and it's like, I can't, like, I can pray. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah.
That's all I can do is ask God to help you, because I can't say the right thing, and I can't take away, give me your brain and dust those negative thoughts off.
Exactly.
So, like, even as a friend, like, she prays for me, I pray for her. Sometimes that's all you can offer.
Right. And that's a lot of times, that's all I need, because you can't do anything else. Like you said, you can't take my pain away. You can't take my fears away or whatever. And so the most and the best I could do is, hey, I'm going to pray for you. You pray for me. And hey, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for praying for me.
Let me do a testimony of the village, because, baby, so recently I was, like I told you, I was like, I'm not feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having some pains. I'm like, I don't want to freak out. So I told you and Javen. And so then I think Mom was at chiropractic, and she was checking up on me. And somehow everyone now is like praying for me. But that next morning, I text her, I said, I'm fine. I said, look, the prayers of the saints.
Okay, for real.
The prayers of the saints is coming through. Okay? The pain was gone.
There you go.
That's a testimony.
He said the pain was gone. I know that's right. Okay, so what are some new health goals that you have started or want to start?
Yes, so I have started working out and doing, like, strength training.
That's good.
Which I really enjoy. I need to get back on it because, like I said, last week I had a little pain, so I took off that week. So this week I should be getting back on it, going back to the gym. But I feel better. Like, I enjoy, getting in the gym, and
that's good.
Getting that pump.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, like it feels so good. I'm approaching 30, so I really want it to be a habit to, like, enjoy working out instead of being at that place where it's like, I don't feel like working out. Because I've always enjoyed it, but I have had times where I'm like, I don't feel like working out.
Oh yeah, that's everybody.
So right now I'm just like enjoying it. Yeah. I'm excited to go to the gym.
That's good.
And so I want to keep that up, and then, like I said before, taking, like, my herbal supplements, not weed, just for anybody who's concerned or wondering. That's not what I mean when I say herbal supplements, just FYI. Was one other thing that I wanted to say, and it's something you had said that made me think of it. So I was like, oh yeah, I want to add that to the next question. To this question. Dang, what was it? Go ahead, say yours. Let's see if I remember.
You have it. I need to just take it a little bit at a time. I don't need to just have to. I think a lot of times I think I just need to submerge myself right into stuff like working out type of thing. But 5 minutes, 10 minutes can work my way up type of thing. And so I need to be consistent about being intentional on little workouts, around the house. Because, girl, I be walking down the stairs and the knees be cracking. I'm like, oh my God, I got my baby in my hand. I'm thinking, oh, I hope I don't trip.
Girl.
And so I'm just like, and that's always a reminder that, wow, girl, you need to get some flexibility. You need to, and so, I mean, physically that's that. But, I'm just trying to create better habits in every area, like what I'm feeding myself, taking, you already talked about, well, not on the podcast, but we've had conversations about taking social media breaks, limiting our time on things that don't really add anything to you. I'm reading more, and I'm really excited about that because I've been wanting to enjoy reading again, and just and I'm reading a really good book right now on success and stuff like that, by Joyce Meyer, that I've shared with India as well. But doing that, and honestly, another thing, just trying to be better about what I'm ingesting and like just my, my diet and stuff like that. I've gotten so much better that I didn't gain weight, but it used to be, after I had my daughter, it used to be like I'd forget to eat. Like my mom was feeding me for a while she was there, but then I just got so concerned about my daughter eating. Also, I still breastfeed, so it's like I still have to make sure that I'm getting all the nutrients and things I need. And so just making a better a better plan on what I'm eating and taking in so that I can continue to be healthy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to work in every area of my life where health is necessary and needs to be, a priority in my life type of thing. Because, something I told Lincoln, my husband, was a lot of times, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, where, it's like you worry about the things that you need to be spending your money on, and you say to yourself, oh, I don't need to buy that though. That's not really necessary. And it's something that would really do you some good, like that would help your health type of thing, when those are the things that we shouldn't be, taking off the table. Like, oh, I don't need to spend my money on that, because what they say is true. Health is wealth. And so I've heard many people that are financially successful say that very thing that they don't put a limit on how they stay healthy and how they, and that's very true. And if we all take that into consideration, then I think we would all take it into consideration and act on it appropriately. Then I think we would all be in a better space and, be more healthy and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to work on little bits of me all at once, but just, not trying to do too much in every area, but still a little something in every.
Exactly.
Your phone and my phone.
Sorry. But I agree though with the what you ingest. Like I was saying before, like I'm still learning that. So I will say a goal I want to start though is just really taking care of my vitamins. Yes. I feel like I'm a little bit lacking on that. Mm-hmm. So that's a goal, I feel like, just to be more on it with my vitamins. And just, being careful what you put in your body, because it does make a difference.
Boy, and as you get older, we see what it do. Well, boy, I tell you, I'm
ain't
not
nothing the same. I thought I was like,
it's gonna shame me. But nothing is the same. It's like, dang, that didn't happen before.
Before I wasn't.
Like even even alcohol.
like
the recovery time be different. The recovery, what? Oh. We used to drink, and then next day we do it again. I could never.
How?
I need the whole weekend to recover. I need the whole week.
No, the whole month.
My goodness. I can't do this again.
No, for real.
Oh, my gosh. So, I mean, your age, as you age,
it's just really important to take care of yourself.
Yeah, it's very telling. So, we should take care of ourselves now while we have the time and the opportunity to do that. So, yeah.
That's
any
all.
Last words?
Nope. I mean, look, share your story if you have a story in the comments. Some encouragement, or share like, I feel you, me too. We would love to see that.
Yes.
But yeah, any last words for you?
I don't think so. I think we said enough.
I think so. I think we did well.
So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on the next episode. We hope you enjoy it. Love you guys.
Bye.